This ain't just a magazine. It's a movement. The American Pit Bull Terrier. Real dogs, real yards, real history. From legendary bloodlines to modern breeders, keeping the flame lit. Yard spotlights, breeding knowledge, controversy, culture. This is for the ones who walk it like they talk it. No fluff, no fakes, just dog man, dog woman, and dogs. Grab your issue now, support the culture. Because the legacy don't live online, it lives in print. Am I in there? Good morning. Good morning. What's going on? Tap in, tap in. Let's get it in. This is the, this is the first Bulldog Sunday of the year, according to my calendar. You know? First Bulldog Sunday. Let's get it in. Smash that like button, y'all. You're rocking the building. What up? Hold up. Bank statement in the building. Poonie in the building. What up, y'all? Hold up. Let me see. Get up on this. Gotta be up on it. We are live. Let me get over here. Gotta hit the mono. Hope everybody enjoying their morning so far. If you're on the West Coast, it's early. It's on the West. It's 6:00 a.m. on the West Coast. Bulldog Sunday. Start the day off with a good controversial show. You know, it ain't no show without no controversy. You know, let's get it going. Okay, let me see. Okay, we on the reloaded. Okay, I'm digging it. Let's get these numbers up. Let's get these numbers up, y'all. Live stream. Okay. That works. Let's get it in. Let's tap into the algorithm. Smash the like button. You see the screen. We got the new social media. This ain't no shot at no social media new guys, you know, but I saw something that it didn't bother me, but I just found it quite interesting. You know, I was looking at the landscape. You know, I went to do one of those moments where you have survival's remorse, right? I was having a little survival's remorse, you know, being one of the guys that I look at as like, you know, there ain't too many left, right? There just ain't too many left. And they definitely don't have a voice, right? Like, let's just say there are a lot of us left, but they don't have that voice, right? So what we're getting today, a lot of disgruntled old cats, you know, they want to flex. A lot of them never really had the chance to to do it the right way, or they just wasn't really thinking about it to really cultivate their line and really do it the right way, you know? So on the backside, social media is overrunning the dog game, right? I got dudes, and this is no look, do your thing on social media, do your thing. My thing is paint them in the positive light. Don't get out here doing nothing crazy. And that, I pretty much stand on that, but you got to really understand where the game is going. And I might be just talking to some of the old cats that, you know, they just up in here just trying to love the dogs. They've been liking these dogs for a long time. You get a lot of new dudes that pop up, and it's all about a TikTok. You know what I'm saying? It's all about a like and a view, right? So when you get a game that turns into that, when it's going to be predominantly that, and this is what we see, right? Maybe it's good for the guys that's in the shadows and don't come out much. You know, they get to just continue to have great dogs and success, and they don't have to really deal with the noise. But this is the podcast. I gotta talk about the noise, right? The entitlement. I did a story, APBT Magazine. The entitlement of the new dogger, the new age dogger that really, you know, didn't really put in no work. Let's be real about it. You know, you really didn't put in those hours like I talk about, right? So you really don't understand the pieces that have to get kept, have to, you know, carry on so you can be able to go a decade and decades at a time. Some of these dudes haven't even been in for a decade, right? They surely haven't had the dogs that they're cultivating, that they're talking about, for more than a decade, right? It's instant gratification. Everything, social media, it's brought a lot of good. It's brought a lot of good, a lot of visibility. I kind of like the idea, like when I popped up on social media, I kind of like the idea that even with the dogs, it just gave you a different level of reach, right? You can reach out, you can meet people, and come in that through this social media, through people seeing me, through me seeing people. It's brought good people, but it's brought a lot more bad. I'm gonna be real with you. It's brought a lot of things that maybe not have occurred had social media not been an element, you know, in this time. You know, so we pretty much just gotta roll with it. You know, I'm die hard, I'm riding with it, you know, whatever comes with it. Paint them in the positive light. That's kind of what I think, my thing. But we got to understand that when we're talking about social media, we're not, and this is no shot against the new guys and the guys that are trying to do, I don't know what you're trying to do, right? You're taking advantage of something that was created to enhance, you know, but when you're enhancing things like this and everybody's enhanced with their visibility, with their ability to sell puppies, it's a watered down element that comes along with it. And I think that's the only thing that people worry about. I don't think they care. The older guys that are established, they don't care that you're on social media with your dogs. They only care when you're tapping into the oil supply. So, hey, you young dudes, man, keep tapping in, dog. Keep tapping in. It makes it harder for them to actually find a real line that's actually working. You know what I'm saying? You're creating a diversion, right? And that's a good thing, because furthermore, when I first made a video, I said, do your research. Doing your research is an element that still exists, and social media has watered it down so much that it's even harder to do research. It's even harder. You know what I'm saying? There was a time where you couldn't sell a dog. I just want to put this, it was inspired by a post somebody sent me. One of my guys that I respect in these dogs made a post. I'll get to that. And but let me say this first. There was a time where you really had to love these dogs. I'm gonna tell you, there was a real time where you really had to love these dogs. It wasn't about the pedigree. It wasn't. When I popped back up out this soil and looked, and I saw the landscape of this new shit, I was kind of surprised. Some of the players still there, some of the players gone. It was just one of those moments when you had to sit back and reflect. Right. But before that, there wasn't no outlet to really sell dogs like that. Right. Sure, you got your pedigree online. You got certain outlets and different things. Back in the day, they had lawless links. If you had a website, different things, but it wasn't 10,000 people with litters for sale that you can actually access, right? You had to really love your dogs. When you had dogs, those were your dogs. Nobody really wanted them, right? Especially if they're in your area. They're going to probably just want to run their own dogs, and they're just going to kind of do their thing like that, depending on what was going on back in those days, right? But they were your dogs. You wasn't selling them. You maybe had one guy that had some type of motion to where he's tapped into some guys that's buying some dogs, but for the most part, the promotion, everything, unless you're buying Gazette ads, and you can ask people how well that goes. Maybe good, maybe not. It's a hit and a miss, right? But it wasn't like social media. Like, I can go post a single dog 1,000 times, right? I was looking at my videos on my YouTube channel, and I got like 200 something videos. And then I was going to look at some of the other channels in the YouTube community. Some of these guys got 600 videos, 700. One of the dudes had 777. He has 777 videos, So the amount of reach and the amount of, I'm not going to call it spam, that you can do nowadays without putting in any work or not have to put up a single dollar has definitely changed the game of what it is today or what it was yesterday, right? So we're going to be touching on some of this. I want to salute the doggers that have 20 years plus building a line. You 20 years plus, you might not have your own bloodline or something like that, but you're 20 years plus, you've been having dogs consistently, and you're building your bloodline, or you're trying to build something. I want to salute those guys on this Bulldog Sunday, right?
Those guys are underappreciated, right? Because of 20 years of you having some dogs, that's a lifetime in these dogs. Most dog men don't have 3 generations of offspring in the pedigree. So we can only salute the guys with 50 years in. We can only salute the guys with 40 years in, right? And we do that a lot. We give those guys their praise. But we got to understand there's guys with 11, 12, 16 years of cultivating a line, rather if they got it, right then, or if they switched it up a little bit, crossed it up a little bit, maybe did a line breeding, keeping the bloodline going, right? The entitlement of these new guys, they think that they're just going to skip the line because they have a Facebook page, right? You can't just skip the line because you have a Facebook page. You got to know who you're skipping. You're skipping over guys that got their 20 years in. They've been holding on to these dogs. Maybe it's a couple dogs. I remember a guy, well, I know him, but he got Carl Cruz's yard when Carl Cruz got out of the game. Well, before he passed, he got rid of all his dogs, maybe a month, 6 months before he passed, right? He had about 12, 11, 14 dogs left and a fat litter. This guy went and grabbed all that stuff. I was kind of fucked up because we was cool as fuck, but he really never tried to throw me the lob, though. A lot of dudes, they feel intimidated by you. Your presence intimidates them. But he was able to get those dogs, and if he still got them today, that's going on 3 or 4 years, right? He can whip those up, maybe throw another 4 or 5 years on top of that. That would be something if he popped out with that people will be like, hey, you know what? Let me put some priority and let me put a little bit of something on top of that. Because that's a line that was captured for a long time. And then he gets the blood. He keeps it intact. That's what I'm paying you for. I'm paying you for your years and your hard work. I'm not paying you just because you got a good pedigree. If you haven't been in these dogs over 5 years, if you haven't been having the dogs that you're claiming that are so good for over 5 years, how the hell can you feel like you're a priority? Right? Make it make sense. We all here on this Sunday, man. Tap that like button. You're not a priority because you don't even know the dogs yet. Let's put this back into context. Ween, what up, brother? Musician. Let's get up in here, y'all. Hey, we, just a little cook, man. We on the Buck City Reloaded. This is an APBT Magazine live stream. So whoever supported the magazine, whoever bought the magazine, whoever bought the coloring book for the youngins, or if they like to color and doodle and just have a little bit of good mental health moment, right? This show is sponsored by Saving Every Puppy. Go grab that book. It's on Amazon. Alex Carter, sponsor of the show. So I got to do 10 shows a month, apparently. That's a part of our agreement. Okay. So I gotta do 10 shows a month. That's gonna be 4 Bulldog Sundays. You know, we'll get that Bulldog Sunday going. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so you can keep getting this good sauce. This book right here, I got a copy in my hand. Well, I got 4 copies in my hand. Excellent book. It's real small. My type of book, small. I don't want to be reading all fucking year. You know, I'm not about to be no fast reader that just read the shit in 2 days either. You know, I'm not doing that. You know, there's going to be a lot of information that I'm probably not going to get to with all my workload and everything. But this book right here is definitely going to get your feet wet when it comes to knowing every single thing. And then it becoming second nature so that you'll be able to help people out. When you read this, you feel like you can help somebody out. Hey, yeah, get that that coloring book, musician. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one, man. It'd be good. You know, you color some of them dogs, you know, some of them dogs got the bloodline y'all got. You know, you coloring dogs that share the same line, you know, because we got to have them, you know. We got to have them out there like that. So if you never bred a dog before, go grab this book. If you're having trouble losing puppies all the time, you just had a litter, you're losing puppies, right? I'll stamp this. If I would have checked it out before it dropped, I would have asked to put a page in there just to really stamp it. No filler, letting you know exactly what's going on, exactly the stages of the puppy's development so you can know exactly what to look for and you can be ready. Checklists, being ready, weighing the puppies, you know, feeding, tube feeding. Okay, Bank. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I'm glad they like it. I'm glad they like it. I'll be checking it out and I'll be looking at other coloring books. I looked at that one that I got sent into jail when I was locked up. Shit, I wish I would have got that one. You got to send it to your people that's in jail, bruh. You got to. You got to. Because there's a lot of dudes that been locked up behind these dogs. Take your mind away from stuff. That's why I did the Amazon thing, so we can order those things. Behind those walls, they need to be able to tap in with the community and be here with us and hear the controversy and hear what the hell's going on. What are we talking about over here? You know? So appreciate the support, everything. Grab that book. I think it's only like $8 or something, bro. So make sure you grab it and be a part of something great, because I think if they keep sponsoring the show, we gonna definitely get those 10 a month. We gonna definitely get it 10 a month. Saving every puppy, become an expert. I read it twice. If I read it 2 more times, I'm gonna memorize the thing, you know. It's only about 40 pages. Good info in there. APBT Magazine. You know, our whole role in the community our whole role in the community, where we stand at, right? Education, troubleshooting, letting you know what's real, right? I'm not about to get up on here and sugarcoat nothing. I could find some other people to get up here and do that. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, right? It's all about ownership, doing your shit, taking responsibility for your actions, building a better community. Why the magazine exists? Because this is one of the greatest communities to birth something of this magnitude, right? I could have done this with any community. I could have used my skills and my drive and my vision for any community, but this community right here, disparaged as it is, this is still the greatest community on the net, in the dogs, right? So I wanted to do something positive. I wanted to not only talk about chain laws, different things, but actually educate people on what's going on. Numerous articles about people getting their yard taken and different, so we could actually hear from their side of the story. We get it. Some people like to cover the news and want to, you want to cover this and cover that, but what can we hear from the guy that it happened to? Could we hear from their perspective? Voice for the community, right? When you get your dogs taken, that's a dark time. There's been a lot of people said those wake and bakes got them through some rough shit. It's a branch off and gives us an outlet so that we can do something good. Right? Preserving real history and standards for the breed. Giving breeders, showmen, everybody in those shows. It's one thing to just say that you're putting the dog in a positive light and you're doing your job. You're helping out. Some of you aren't helping out. Sometimes that one show ain't enough. You got 2-3 ribbons. That sometimes that's not enough. Because what we're doing is filing off decades and decades of plaque. That had this community in shambles. We invite listeners to submit their stories, questions, kennel features, the secret sauce. What are these guys doing? How are they getting those dogs looking good like that? Hey, salute Cold Mountain Bulldogs. Cold Mountain. My brother always support. Got every magazine, got, you know what I'm saying? Always just real brother, man. Sometimes we got to check the temperature. He checked my temperature one day. He pulled up, and we had to have a couple words and man, ironed out, man, ever since, man. That's how it's supposed to be, man. The meet and greet might not be so docile. It might be, that hey moment. But when things get ironed out, there's nothing more beautiful than real ones actually standing side by side, supporting each other. And that's all we can do. Salute to that brother. I seen he got his dog in the wall climb event. That's good. That's good. And not looking for no recognition, not doing it just for the recognition, just quietly, just doing his thing. Those are some of the good guys in the community that I respect, bro. You know, you're not out here trying to sell a whole bunch of puppies, getting mad, you know, at people, you know, because shit, I do it. I get mad. I do, you know, I need to learn from him, right? Because I remember a time when it wasn't about selling no puppies. You know, you actually had to love the dogs. I'm not saying people don't love them now, but it's a hell of a lot easier not to love them if it's a dollar sign attached to them. I know that. Right? So the APBT Magazine, we're just trying to be good litter. We're trying to litter the earth with good things everywhere. I want them on coffee tables, barbershops, everywhere, posters, APBT Magazine, doing it big at the shows, giveaways, right? I want to pull up to the show with the APBT Magazine trophy, right? Yeah, everybody got their own trophy that they give out, but I pull up to the show and maybe I'll ask ahead of time, hey, can APBT Magazine give away our own trophy to the dog that we thought was the best dog today, right? Could it be our trophy that we give out? Even if I can't make it, make sure the trophy's there, right? Teamwork. That's what it is. That's why we built it from a community. This wasn't built from one guy. You know, even though I've been doing a lot of the heavy lifting, you know, I'm just waiting, you know, we're going to get it in. But at the beginning, if you remember, this was just a community thing. It was supposed to be for the community, about the community, our outlet. This is what we're over here. They want to put a red line around us, you know, keep us all in one bubble. Let's show them how to elevate and be better than everybody at everything, right? Show them that we can do everything better, 10 times better as a community, the ones that they counted out, right? Everybody don't have that same vision. I understand. I get it. But that's not going to stop my ambition one bit. So there's still people that listen to me because they know that I got that drive to never give up. No matter what, never give up. Always find another way. You know, relationships go good, relationships go bad, you know, fuck it. But that mission stays the same. Right? So let me see. Make sure you guys tap in. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, everybody won't be recognized. Everybody breeding dogs, they're not, and that's the way that's organically the way it's supposed to be. Everybody's not going to get that recognition. You know, sometimes it's just the way you breed, your style, your charisma, different things like that just boost your dog up. And you know, his dog might be just as good, but he might not be recognized. And that's okay. And as a dog man, you should be okay with that. because it's about the dogs. You're not worried about the track record. I tell people all the time, it's only about puppy sales. Anything you see, anything, no smoke and mirrors, bro. There's some type of puppy sale going on. It might not be this year, it might not be next year. Trust me when I say this, nobody really has an opinion that doesn't have a puppy for sale. Some kind of way, some kind of way, man. You could prove me wrong. What I need to drop the link? Prove me wrong then. Okay? Smack that button. Smack that button. So now there was a post, man, good post, man. I won't even name who it is. Some people probably know, if you're on social media or whatever, but it was to the tone of, I don't have it in front of me, but it was a Pup-Back deals. Like it was kind of, in some way putting some logic behind it, some very good insight, but didn't really put too much reality in my opinion. So I just addressed it a little bit. I guess it was a horrible a Pup-Back deal. Stud for a Pup-Back deal is a horrible business model. Okay. It's like a fortune, a lot of these things, it's like a fortune. It could be right or wrong. You can look at it this way. If I tell you a fortune, like what's your fortune for the day or your horoscope for the day? Every horoscope is going to apply for everybody, right? That's the way I look at it, right? So if you look at it in that totality, you're right. That might be. It might devalue a lot of other things. I wish I had it in front of me. I could just pop it up on the screen. But it does all of that, right? But if you know the history of these dogs, that's what my first thing pop up to my head. That's what I think. I don't go with the second thing. I go with the first thing that popped up in my head. And that's all of those fucking pedigrees that have Pup-Back deals in the pedigrees. Most yards, most dogs, a lot of shit. And I'm not going to say most dogs because probably most dogs were created on your own yard, right? Comfortability breedings. Most dogs are created from comfortability situations, right? But the Pup-Back deal is pivotal in the APBT world and in your pedigree. You put the pedigree on the screen, 9 times out of 10, you can find a breeding if you knew enough about the history of the dog. See, if you don't know the history, like I said, you got to be in these dogs for a long time. That's why it matters. Because as soon as I seen that post, it automatically computed in my head. And I was like, okay, this dog, this dog, this dog, this dog, this dog, even in your own pedigrees, were created by Pup-Back deals. You see? See, this game and some of the good dog, man, we even throw Tom Garner in there. He was a dog, man, that was thinking about the money when nobody else, well, I'm not going to say nobody else, but when a lot of people weren't thinking about the money. Because a lot of us were raised to actually love the dogs, love the, you know what I'm saying? Like I doubt it. I brag all the time. I say, I went 17 years before I sold one puppy. Right. And I did Pup-Back deals. I built yards off of Pup-Backs and shit. You know what I'm saying? You do, because it's supposed to be you and your partners building together, right? So it's always going to be a Pup-Back deal. It's always going to be, even if it ain't your partner, somebody that has a good dog, the respect for a man's body of work. I think that's a lost art, right? So yeah, we could say, yeah, it's a bad business model, a Pup-Back deal because somebody doesn't have to pay and they don't have to. To me, that sounds like it sounds like a circle or like a kind of like an impoverished situation, you know. No trust, no, like there's no, it's like all about the money, right? Everything can't be all about the money. Yeah, you got to pay for supplies, you got to do things, but first and foremost, you got to develop just a straight love for the dogs before the money side. And when you're in it with social media, if you get in this social media era, it's impossible for you to look at it from a love type of level without seeing the money side of it, right? Because before you just wouldn't be exposed to it like that. It wouldn't be exposed to you. It wouldn't be people all the time. Like, yeah, you'll get somebody want to buy your dog here or there, that actually knows the blood, but it wasn't gonna be like you're just on social media though, and a lot of people benefited. There was one guy hit me yesterday or the day before. Good guy. He's got one of those, he's got a baby Osiris back to Lucius buck puppy. Huge puppy. This puppy got to be 50 pounds right now. Huge puppy. And he hit me up and he was like, such and such dogs, like because somebody took the name off the dog and put their name on the dog, right? So that's a part of branding. That's a part of the instant gratification, instant branding, because little do he know, like the dude that he was talking about never even did a successful breeding before, like, or, maybe one breeding. Like he's not in any rim. And we're talking about real dogs. You're not nowhere near having your bloodline and shit like right now. Like you're not ready for that, man. You're not ready for that. You know. You're not ready for all that right now, right? We go through this all the time. When can you claim your bloodline and whatever, And I think it's important. I think it's very important because I feel like some of the dudes that really put in work, they get overshined too easily. Everybody wants to forget where they came from these days. What's up with that? Is that a new thing? Back in the days, we used to cherish where we got the dogs from, and we would always hold that person in high regard. So when can you claim a bloodline as your own? Do we need to go back to this? I think it's a new year. We're scraping. I'm forgetting all my content that I made last year, right? None of that counts. We're coming with all revising everything. Like whatever comes to mind, new comments, everything. He said, I never cared about the dollar. That's important, man. That's important. And it is a business. It is a business. It is. But when you're trying to find out who loves the dogs and who doesn't, and who's grifting and who's not, you gotta know, and at least it helps me to know that you had these dogs in the time where you had to love them. You had, like, why would you have them? Why do you have that motherfucker? Why do you got these dogs? It doesn't add up to no money. Why do you have them? Right? Why? You know, and man, I love them. You know, I love these. I've been having them. You still got them dogs? Yeah. Yes. Right? Not about the exchange rate, more or less. You know, it's just a red flag to me. You know, I don't know. But when can you claim a bloodline as your own, man? This is something that we talk about all the time. Years of planned breedings. You got years of planned breedings, right? Repeated traits showing consistency. Oh, that's another 5 years. Right? So you got to get the years of planned breedings. That's going to be years right there. That's about 5 years to get those planned breedings done. And then you start to see repeated traits showing up consistently. You know, documented results in history. That's on the list. And this ain't even APBT. That's it. Because I don't want to, because that, you know, the APBT information is still new. There's still a lot of things that they don't know. The world doesn't know. So we're still putting this information out here as we go. Like me talking right now is putting more information in, or misinformation. Either one is going to get information and misinformation. Not a bloodline. Breeding 2 nice dogs one time. That's not a bloodline. Slapping the name on pups, that's not a bloodline right there. It's not. The dog's gotta be yours, bruh. I'm sorry to say. The dog's gotta be yours. It's not, you know, and there's hundreds of new guys just got in last year, 2025 turnouts. It remains the same, right? I'm not saying that you can't get yourself in a good position. I'm not saying that you can't do big things if you just got in the game, right? I'm just saying there's people out here that been waiting their turn for years. So don't feel entitled. Don't feel like you deserve some type of compensation. Compensation for what? Right? What dogs do you have on your yard right now that have produced multiple litters consistency, right? That you bred, that they your dogs, not somebody else's dogs, right? Not something somebody else bred, right? You're not the home of a 2-year-old. It's not the 2-year-old is not the home of nothing. Home of the 2-year-old dog. That's a red flag. That lets me know that you're not taking time out to find out this dog might not even be a good representation. Okay. Okay. At least 4 generations of your work will establish your own. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm with that. I'm with that. I'm with the hard work putting in. I'm with that joint stretching to the back. I'm with you actually changing the line. Changing the line will quickly turn it into yours, right? Because you're not piggybacking off of somebody, right? And I'm not talking about just line breeding. I'm talking about changing the line. You know, you're not getting a Michael Myers dog and just throwing Red Boy in it and thinking you just changed the line. You didn't change the line. He's already got Red Boy in him. Right? Or you're going to get your consistency and you're going to be breeding those dogs. It's going to take you years. How many years? Just throw a number out there, you guys. How many years does this take? I say 10. I say 10 years minimum before you could even talk about fucking nothing. I don't give a fuck if you ran Bulldog Hill. It would take you 10 fucking years for you to learn those dogs and understand those dogs, brother. And the reason why people will be mad at what I'm saying is because they're just trying to grift. It's a grift. You know, because somebody that's not grifting and they're actually looking for some good stock, they're going to appreciate this. Like, damn, like this. Okay. I got me a new checklist for the day. You know, you know, in social media, it's the most subliminal place, you know, and it's never people that you never did shit for. That's crazy. It be dudes that you let eat at the round table with you that be saying the most slick shit, you know. So get back in that lab. You know, I wouldn't give a fuck if it's my brother, whatever, bro. You've been in there 3 years. You had them dogs a couple years, bro. Get back in that lab, bro. Go keep you a couple litters and see how they work out. Right? Don't sell everything and then you tell me that this dog is supposed to be producing some shit. Like I can't tell. You bet him 7 times, you know, and he ain't produced shit. Right? Those are the learning curves that you really gotta get and get the kinks out. And you know what I'm saying? You gotta that's when the hands-on experience is gonna trump the bullshit. Right? So I'm taking 10 years. I mean, we don't have to go 4 generations, but it's gonna have to be 10 years, man. It's gonna have to be something significant that is worth something to even be claiming as a bloodline. You know, he said they don't have it because they're too busy copying and following someone else's vision, so they can call pups like the person who established it, so they can sell pups. Yeah, Man, we all know the uh the story. But I'm here to talk about entitlement because I think some of the newer guys, they're not, maybe they don't know that there's a bunch of old guys that been out here that, they've had their dogs 15 years. They've had their dogs 20 years, 25 years. I've seen the Craig Simon dogs. He's like 7 generations in them tab dogs. Six generations in the tab dogs. Bred tight, whether if you like it or not. You don't have to like it. But what you'll be paying for is the preservation efforts and the fact that he's had those dogs. That's his line. Yeah, it's tab on tab on tab, but that's his shit. He's 6 generations in. Yeah, you got other strains of tab. He put in the work. So if his puppy sells before yours, I think it should sell before yours. He didn't just buy 2 dogs and slap them together, and then now, it's a bunch of shit you don't know about. This how I be grilling my guys on the phone, bruh. I'm telling you. It'd be funny. You should hear the phone conversation. You think this is something. The phone conversations are even more brutal. Because it's like, what are we talking about here? What is this? That's when we get into it, right? I know I hit a nerve. Motherfucker won't call me back for like 2 days. Like, oh yeah, I hit a nerve that day. Let me, because it's the hard critique that's going to make you better, not spot picking, right? A lot of good dogs that we see today that we think were good dogs were actually good spot pickers, just like in boxing. Just like in boxing, they're going to set you up with somebody that you can beat. I think UFC is probably the realest to what it really is. I mean, lately we've been getting some good boxing, but they pretty much know who's going to win, bro. You know who's going to win. You know who's going to win, man. Before that fight starts, you know who's going to win. Now, if the other guy gives it a good fight, then you enjoyed yourself, but you knew who was going to win. Tap in, man. Hit that like button. He said anybody can cross lines and make an accidental great dog, but breeding has goals and lessons. To establish a line that will last is going to require years of work. Understanding breedings is years. Nah, it is, man. I'm telling you, bro. That's real. That's real spill. So it's the entitlement. It's the entitlement with me, y'all. I don't care about who does what. I'm not here to critique what you do on your yard. I'm not here to change what I've already established as law with these dogs. I'm not here to do that. But the entitlement, because I remember going years and years and years, there was no lane that I can just say, hey, let me post this puppy. I can get on YouTube right now. The squad always got shit. So you can always hit me. The squad always got shit. That's what it is. But I can't just, I could just go post some shit right now. So What is it? You really love these dogs? You really trying to build your own bloodline? Or you just trying to piggyback off of somebody else's hard work and sell pups right away? You're selling them right away. Come on, dog. What makes a stud valuable? Somebody in the chat, help me out, man. What makes a stud valuable? What makes his value, whatever you want to call it? Tell me. You know? We live in a post era. That's what it is. That's what's gonna take over. If you want to be successful in the APBT, or if you want to look successful, the way it's going is you're gonna have to get your social media up, man. Because the way the game is shifting, and I don't know if it's gonna be for the positive or the negative or the positive, but the way it's shifting, that social media likes and views, that's how these dudes are staying alive. You know how you know if people like you? If people like your blood, they really need you. They need you. This is how you know if they need you. Don't post on social media for a year. Right? You know. But some of us are unbelievably talented at clinging on to connects. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Some of us actually build networks, right? The ability to cling on to connects. Of course, you got to be solid to do that in most cases, unless you're fucking with bottom feeders. Some people fuck with the bottom feeders. You know, it could pay off or it could hurt. Too much of anything is bad, right? Too much of anything is not going to be good for you. He said, knowing when to breed tight, when to outcross, knowing when to call, etc. It isn't easy. A stud's value should be about its production and the outcome of the litter, not the passing line. Not just passing line. Yeah, I agree. I agree. His value is solely based on what he as an individual is able to produce. But we can argue that it's worth whatever people are willing to pay. It's worth whatever you're willing to pay for it. Can be the value of it. Because if they got some old shit and it's never bred before, they're still going to be wanting to, some type of compensation. I did I did three puppy deals on Stanky Leg too. Let me see. I think I had him up here. I might have deleted it. Yeah, but yeah, Stanky Leg too. You know, he was getting it in, and there was 3 stud fees. Oh, pup deal, no stud fee, man. This is a chance that you're giving somebody a shot to try the shit, right? One of them was a good guy that I've been fucking with for a long time, right? He likes the blood. He's been experiencing good things with the blood. Another guy was a dude that I didn't even know, bruh. I didn't know, but he pulled up. Everything was good, and shit, man. He been taking good care of them pups, man. He doing his thing, man. What's going on, Wayne?
Buck City APBT Radio was popping.
Oh man, we in here, man. It's a new year.
Yeah, you set it off again as usual. I gotta salute you, man. You got the platform juiced up, ready to go. The engine's running. Hopefully you got more tuning in this year too.
Oh yeah.
You said how it's that time again where if they ain't listening, they ain't paying attention, they ain't learning, well then they falling behind.
Right. But the social media makes it good for when you fall behind too, because once we drop the video, it's up there. You see what I'm saying? So rather if they tap in and get the sauce now, or finally realize that was some sauce, because a lot of times if they had game, they would already be in a better position. And a lot of times they're not receptive to the game because they're not from the game.
They be busy. They be active,
So,
That's a lot of the part of the game. People ain't working hard enough. They too busy.
Yeah.
They too busy looking at somebody else's work, buying a couple dogs, and then thinking they're adding into the formula. But all they doing is slow motion. You know what I mean? That's slow motion. But and I gotta give it to these young. I got some wolves that's working up here. Salute to Seattle too. I see y'all got that W yesterday.
Yeah, man. The Seahawks, man, they got it. They won that's the NFC, so they got the bye. They won the NFC. They looking good. I ain't gonna make no predictions or nothing. My team is the Chiefs. I remain a Chief fan, even though I was born in Seattle, Washington, at Group Health Hospital. You know what I'm saying? Went to the legendary Garfield High School. And yeah, man, all ins and outs and outs and ends, but we hey, the Chiefs can't go. Why not the Seahawks, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna be like no bandwagon, because like I said, the Chiefs is my team, period. I wouldn't give a fuck. I think they're the best team still, and I could make a good argument for that. But hey, man, congratulations to the home soil. What you think about some of these topics, man?
Well, I'm in that puppy stage almost every 5 to 6 months. Sometimes we find ourselves in the game where what position are you playing? I believe in quantity and quality have to go hand in hand. I believe if you only putting down 1 litter a year, or you're only watching the females, or you're only watching the males, you're doing a disservice to the game. You got to put in the work on all sides. Everything's got to be accounted for. That's a part of being a master. That's a part of your master classes you talked about. Like, you can't just be doing one thing and thinking everything else is gonna fall into place. You have to cross your T's, dot your I's, and then go back and read the sentence you wrote. I'm a firm believer that you got to have at least grandpa and grandmama up in your line and lineage where you started from and know where your cross went. You got people that have been breeding dogs. They don't even know where they cross went. You know, they didn't cross it. When did you cross the Red Boy? When did you cross the Jeep or the Rascal? Or when did you put these dogs into your program to say this is where the change happened, or this is what my data has produced from my new line of dogs that I can claim that are mine? You know, other than that, they doing the same crosses, and it's like, okay, that's not new. Those dogs are that you're still repeating and regenerating that slow motion. So, you know, it's a tough situation to talk about somebody's program, especially when they really don't have one and they're trying to be that person that has one. So if you do have a program, then you should be able to get up here on APBT Radio, talk about your crosses, talk about your lineage, talk about the dogs that have gone out into your community. You know, sometimes we forget this community that you created gives people a chance to represent their community. You know, where they're at, whether you're in Oklahoma, whether you're in Connecticut, whether you're in Minnesota, whether you're in Seattle, wherever you are, you get to come on Buck City and represent your own body of work. You know, so most of these dudes' body of work is in beginning stages for like 6 and 7 years, and they haven't crossed over to creating a body of work. And you know, you tell them all the time they got to get to work. 10,000. What do you say? You used to say the 10,000 hours.
Yeah, 10,000 hours, like Kobe said, man.
Yeah.
Just like they got to spend 10,000 hours in the gym, you know, we got to spend 10,000 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. And then it comes down to who was in the gym, what you shooting. You know what I'm saying? Who was with you? Who was calling the dogs with you? You know, who has some of the dogs that were cold? Did some of those dogs fucking go somewhere and work out? You know, so I know some people that, you know, they thought these other two was okay, but then there's one over there that, hey, that sucker over there, he panned out, you know. So the lineage and looking at the history of what you've done, like your history might be a year, but that's enough to go back and cultivate data and say, hey, you know, call the homeboy and say, hey, what's up with that dog? Send me a picture. Let me see what he looked like, you know. Or you put the homegirl with one of the dogs, and she like, hey, look, I don't care what happens, but if that sucker's at home by himself, he gonna let off. He gonna hold the house down. Kids is there. I ain't got to worry about nothing. You know, there's all kinds of data and different ways you can calculate your blood nowadays. It's not competition blood anymore. You know, it's not. We're gonna go. You know, you already know. We're not gonna go in that 19 by 20 and handle it. We're not gonna do that no more. We have other ways to calculate data. So yeah, and I do want to shout out to Cole Mountain. Cole Mountain know what it is. You know, and I got to tell you, thank you. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you brought him up because he's taking different avenues. And that's it. And sometimes it's hard. It's hard for an old school to take a new avenue. You know, it's hard to transform and say, you know, I only had 6 litters in the last 2 years. To me, that's slow motion. You know, if you're not putting down 3 or 4 litters a year, and you got, you know, 2 or 3 generations that you're working every fucking day, that's slow motion to me. You got to pick the pace up, you guys, because if you think about it, 2 litters might only produce 10 puppies. So your numbers that you're putting on the table, can't nobody go to that table and eat. There's not enough.
You might get less than that.
Yeah, I'm trying. Exactly. I'm trying to give
people
the
need 4-5 litters to get 10 puppies.
Yeah,
that's why exactly. I got that book up on this thumbnail. You know, I think that one's gonna help out a lot in that because 2 litters should be 10. You know, because you can't get 10 every time, and sometimes you do get 10. But if I get 6 and 4 or 6 and 6, you know what I'm saying? Like 2 litters should be 10 puppies, but that's not been the case for a lot of people.
Exactly. And unfortunately, I think a lot of these camps have forgotten about how important the bitch is. Because if your female is not healthy, if she can own it, you know, and cycles are different through all bitches. You know what I'm saying? But if you see this bitch got 1 good heat a year, well then now you know where you're at. See, if you see this other bitch, she on fire. She coming in every 5.5 months on God time. You know what I'm saying? If you got that, if you got one of them, God bless you, because that's rare. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about the bitch who she just had her puppies, and she's already bleeding again almost before the last litter get out of there. You know what I'm saying? Her cycle is on point. So, you know, the vitamin K, the B12, all those things, you have to make sure you're putting back into the bitch. So even if you are making $1, even if you are making a good amount of money, all that money should be going right back into the dogs. It's not profit, you know. It's only profit until you're done in the game. When you look back and you say, you know what, I appreciate everything the dogs gave me. You know, I went as far as I could. Some people can only take it for 5 years. Some people can only take it for 16 years. You know, hopefully I can take it till the casket drop. You hear me? I'm saying, Buck City. Hopefully it ain't never gonna stop for me. And if it do, I'm gonna be a mad son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like, man, how did it come to an end? I got too many camps out here. I got too many this. I got too many that. You know what I'm saying? And then when Buck City dropped, there was more chicken on the table. So I think people didn't understand how you opened up a whole nother realm of chicken so we could eat more. You know, and that's what happens to a lot of these bloodlines. They go so far, and then all of a sudden, you can't go to Bulldog Hill. You can't go talk to Tom Garner. You can't go to a source that is facility established. That hurts. That hurts a lot of guys. You know, because a lot of guys don't want to do the backyard. A lot of guys don't want to do the guy they don't know about. You know, or they don't want to do a guy that has had, you know, that popo on their ass. You know, the fans been on the nigga. You know what I'm saying? So they feel like that's a realm that they don't want to indulge in, and they try to hold that against us. You know what I'm saying? But to be in this game, you have to take your war wounds. The dogs took the war wounds long time ago, so we could establish and eat today. So until we kind of, you know, look at the big picture, you know what I'm saying? Open it up. You know, there should have been 90 people on the live this morning. I got my reminder. You know, I dropped everything. I want to start the year off right with you, Buck. You know, there's a lot of things that come into play when God's looking down on us. You know, how things get sorted out because you start your framework a certain way. So this is my frame. These dogs are my framework. This education is my framework. You know, this is my life until it's over. So I don't want nobody to look at it and be like, you know, oh, well, he had good dogs, but he didn't share. Or he had good dogs, and he didn't give the info. Or the game, he kept the game. No, I'm trying to do everything I can so the young wolves that are coming through, just like you said, somebody just got in this year. And they might get a good ticket or a bad ticket. But either way, they got to remember, stay in the game. You know, just stay in the game.
Big Bang Hank.
Hey, what up with y'all, man? How y'all doing?
Oh man, cool, man. Happy New Year, man. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. You know, starting it off right. What up, Wayne?
What up? You already know what it is, man.
Yeah.
Shit. Hey, look, and I got to get back to it because I already hear what's about to happen in the man, I got everybody in. It's cold up here in Minnesota. So you gonna take it easy. I'm a holler.
All right.
So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, early morning. Early morning.
you got up early.
Mochi gelato early. Wake and bake. Bulldog Sunday. It don't get no better than this.
Yeah, you got up early cooking, huh?
Yeah, I've been up about an hour.
Yeah.
Let me get a commercial in here, man. I got, you know, I've been up here, man, cooking, man. Let's get it.
APBT Magazine is for the real Bulldog community. History, bloodlines, interviews, health, and culture, documented the right way. Support Real Bulldog Media. Grab your copies and the 2026 calendar today. APBT Magazine, preserving the breed, protecting the history.
Yep, that part.
Yeah, just
That
stunting,
part.
man.
I gotta make another one. I gotta make another. I kind of like them little commercials, you know. I
Yeah. Now the music
kind
was
of like
perfect
that.
for it too.
Hey man, that's let's go. Let's go, man. Let's go. Tap in if you need that magazine. We don't want to blow you all up, but hey, we gotta branch out and we gotta do it big. If you don't want to buy it, hey, share it with somebody else. Maybe they want to buy it. I believe I don't think I did it in the third one, but I'm supposed to have a QR code on the back of it so that they can always order. I'll make sure that I make a note of that so that if anybody wants to order the mag or whatever, you know what I'm saying, we got to have it ready and available for you to get that thing. Bloodthirst, my guy coming through, man. Look, I don't even got my I got to make one of those too. I got to make my super chat joint, man. But for now, we just go do this one.
We're here looking for Candyman, bitch.
Step back.
We got to put my guy. I had to put my guy up there. Just, hey, I appreciate you though. Havoc, Bloodthirst, appreciate you. But yeah, man, get tap in, whatever we got going on. If you need any links, coloring book, calendar, I mean, we got it, man. We got everything you need, man. We the one-stop shop, and doing it, that's how you're supposed to do it, man. If you're running a YouTube channel, if you're trying to run a brand, trying to branch out, we got to do things that's exciting. We got some pup giveaways about to pop up. So I hope everybody been hashtagging that APBT Magazine on all platforms. I think I went to YouTube or one of the platforms, and it just seems like I'm the only one doing it. But I seen a couple other ones. Appreciate that. Of course, I'm not going to win the puppy. So get out there, put this stuff out there. If you got the magazine, man, put them little shorts. You reading the magazine, you doing, you know what I'm saying? Let's get that conversation started, man. We only really need one viral moment at this point. All the work is put in. The haters, they could sit back and hate and be miserable and shit. We're building, it's something else, man. This is generational wealth. This is family. Most dudes I fuck with, I'm not gonna lie, they got families, young sons coming up. Okay. He said the QR is on the back of 3. Okay. Appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't know. I be wanting to look. But nah, we got sons and family. I just made a picture. I'm gonna send it to you, musician. There's a picture of you with the crow and your son. That to me, there's nothing better than that. Raising them up around the dogs and just teaching them the right thing though, not letting them, because you know how it is. And I was one of them bad kids to where I very easily could have got swept up in dog fighting and shit. You know what I'm saying? I very easily could have got swept up in it because, let's be honest, it is, we like, as alphas, we like combat type of sports and shit though. Like if we could go to a boxing match between some amateurs or some bare knuckle between some amateurs, you got to go right or left. Like, bro, I'm going to the bare knuckle. You feel me? You going over there? All right, bro. I'm gonna just go over here at least to see if there's somebody up in there with some scraps. Like we want to see combat shit. When I was young, I used to like those war movies and shit. All that shit. Even the King Arthur type shit. Because they just running around. Chop a motherfucker's head off and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's like for every bad, it's not even a bad boy. It's like for every masculine man, that would be the thing to do. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. It would. But we understand the laws are not like that. The laws are not gonna allow you to do that. But as a kid, because I remember some of the things I did as a kid, just running around like shit that I would never do today, because we didn't really realize that what we were doing was bad. And when you're a kid, you don't understand the impact of the consequences of the things that you do when you're young. People tell you, oh, you're gonna pay for that when you get older. You're gonna do it's gonna catch up to you and shit. But when you're a kid, I'm the gingerbread man. I was the real gingerbread man, like, you know, because you think you could get away with everything when you're a kid. So the good guidance, raising them kids up around those dogs, but showing them the right way and the way we're doing it today and trying to, be positive is, man, that's huge, man. He still got me about to check this 3 and see if the QR's on there. Let me check this shit.
Hell yeah.
Nah. That's not the QR. That's the barcode. That's not the QR. See, the QR lets you order it. The barcode is just gonna let you scan it. But I mess up. You fuck up. You fuck up from time to time. And I might fuck this one up because it's not on there. On the new, well, actually it is. It's the old QR for one. The one that I'm about to put out in a couple days.
Yeah, man, shit, all of them hard. The magazines, coloring books, man, you killing it. Calendars. Shit, you stretching it out, making this shit taking it to new heights and shit.
He said he's writing the story of Crow for his book. Hey man, the Crow story, man. There's some missing pieces from the Crow story. Some stories about, that shit might come out 20 years from now, like how the whole creation came about. Going back to day one when Yellow Page bred the King Buck, going way back. I got that story in I think it's in volume 3. The Yellow Page King Buck story. Going out, going way back, putting those dogs together and continuing the lines and friendships. Some friendships that went bad. Because everybody you meet ain't gonna be rocking out with you, man. That's the sad part about the dogs that we never really talk about. And the thing is that we all men, but we'll fall the fuck out over some dogs, bro. The dogs will make friends turn to enemies, bro. Tell you. You don't gotta believe me. You don't gotta fucking believe me. But this shit been like this before I got in this shit. I got a couple dudes on my list right now that if I seen them, I pray to God that he reminds me of everything good that I have going on in my life.
Yeah.
Because some of the shit that these dudes do in these dogs, bro, and some of the negligent shit that goes on is beyond repair, bro. It's always gonna have a bad taste in my mouth, bro.
Let me ask you, what's the one thing that always cause motherfuckers to get into it? Like the main factor. Like I know everybody different situations and shit, but like when you could think about it, like is there any one thing that it kind of boils down to, or?
It's the intention. It's their intentions. Because we all got the right to be and do whatever the fuck we want to do, you know. And when you're dealing with somebody, you're taking a gamble. It's a straight gamble. So if they come through on their side of the deal, you know, that those situations are obviously the great situations. But when they switch up like a chameleon because their intention wasn't pure, like what they intent, you know, when they told you in the beginning, like, okay, this is gonna be this is, you know, this is what it is. And then later on, it's like a whole 360, bro. And then the morals go out of the window. You become just a regular motherfucker. That right there. And then we talking about dogs and shit. So you got a piece of me over there. You know, you representing my shit. This is shit that I share with you. Yeah. Some people, like, you'll share your whole bloodline with a motherfucker, right? And let's say they switch up, they get some different shit, right? Yeah. They won't even offer you one, right? But if you look at it, you shared your whole treasure chest with them. But then, and you shouldn't have to ask, they won't even offer you one, right? At all. Yeah. You know, and that'll let you know that they were in direct competition with you already. So some people gonna take that like it's nothing. Some people will be naive, because you can be naive running around with a whole bunch of people you think they got love for you, but they don't. Right? Yeah. That happens in everyday life. So sometimes they got your best interests and sometimes they don't, you know, but time will reveal themselves. You know, that 5-10 years, you know, you've been knowing motherfuckers, that usually is enough time for them to reveal their true intentions, their true colors, you know. And that's kind of what it is. I've seen people in these dogs be so inconsistent with the shit that comes out of their mouth. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. And that's just being in it. Because you hear everything people say. You hear it. But see, they might be a person that doesn't pay close attention to details. So they feel that everybody else is not paying attention to the shit that they say. That's why I say this podcast is the hardest shit to do. This shit is the hardest shit to do, bro. Because you're so vulnerable. Everything you say. Like if you're not that, then you're gonna be like your boy telling on people. Now he didn't even know. He just tell on himself. You know, just tell, because you can't sit up here and be real forever unless you're real, you know. Yeah. So dudes will get exposed. They in it for the wrong reasons. And when they come around me, I take personal offense to it when the same olive branch doesn't get extended to me, because I feel like I bend over backwards so people could have shit, you know. Yeah. You bend over backwards for people to have things that they never had, you know. This is already ready to go bloodline we're talking about. We're not talking about adding this, adding that, you know. We're talking about all ready to go shit, you know, top of the line shit, you know, that took a lot of hard work to keep it, you know, even from the law, you know. This isn't your yard that went 15-20 years with no interruptions. You know, we're talking about turmoil and things that you had to actually overcome, and scrutiny, even from your own community, and then come back like the Dragon Slayer and slay everybody, right? Yeah. You know, like, nah, this doesn't define who I am. You can't just take one incident out my life and define who I am. You know, when I got in that shooting, that didn't define who I was. Nobody keeps bringing that up. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm doing way worse shit. I damn near took somebody's life. You know, but that don't define me. So how the fuck can this shit define me?
Yeah.
It doesn't. You know, it just gives you more content. It gives you more, you know, proof that you're not perfect. Nobody wants nothing that's perfect. I don't. You know, this motherfucker gotta have some flaws somewhere. You know, I got plenty flaws, you know, but I got plenty of drive that most people don't have. So we're just gonna run with that.
Yeah.
Ty Green, what up, brother? Melee. We just cooking it up early, man. Early morning cook up, Bulldog Sunday. What do you think about Pup-Back deals? There was a post, and it was to the tune like Pup-Back deals fuck up the game, or they not really fuck up the game, but it's bad for business or something like that. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about that?
Shit, you know, it can be bad, you know what I'm saying, if you fuck around with somebody, you know, that you let them stud and they half-assing on the pup breeding, you know what I'm saying, like taking care of the puppies and shit, because that'd be the main thing. You don't know who you really sticking to. Now, if you know them, then shit, it ain't even a Pup-Back deal. You just fucking with your partner. But if you don't know them, shit, I advise you to get your chili. Get your
the
dough.
chili. I feel it. I'm totally with that. But
you know what I'm
it's just
saying?
in a broad term. Because if you put it like that, then okay, maybe I could see the context. But my thing was that there's been a lot of breedings. Like we can look at our pedigrees right now, and there's Pup-Back deals in there.
Yeah.
In your very pedigree. You know, this breeder bred his dog to this dog. It might be Crenshaw bred to motherfucking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they had some pups. He got one. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if Victor Acart paid, because I think he bought Dolly when they created Mayday. When they created Mayday, I'm not sure if a stud fee was collected. Maybe it was. Maybe it was, but I don't know, because, and then I think Victor ended up getting Dolly. So I don't know, because I think Hollingsworth had one of those dogs too, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe they did pay a stud fee to breed to Yellow. Maybe, you know, but there's a lot of breedings that I've done that created good dogs, Pup-Back deals. You know, extending the yard out to good people, recognizing, you know, that dog is a good dog, you know, if they wanted to do that. Because you basically keeping them in-house anyway, a lot of the times when you go out of your way and do a breeding. I've never went out of my way and done a breeding and just had the intention to just like get rid of them all. I've never experienced that, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a lot of variables about it. It could be messy depending on who you're dealing with. I won't forget to add that. But just all the breedings that went on, you know what I mean? That's how it is. And that's what the real community is. That's what kind of alluded me back to when you actually had to love these dogs. You know, you actually love these dogs, man. That guy got a good dog. You got a good dog. Both of you guys respect that shit. You guys want to do the breeding, bro. It's no money exchanged because there wasn't no money to get out here. Wasn't nobody just pulling up on you, studying to your shit. you know, unless, you know, your dog was Son of Sam or something, you know, like this motherfucker had to be a bad motherfucker,
Yeah.
you know, and you had to be known and you had to be in an area and you had to be promoting because there's a lot of good dogs that people just don't know about. A lot of good people got a hold of some good ass dogs and they never even bred them because they're just not like that.
Yeah.
The dog, me and my partner would say that dog would, you know, he got in the wrong hands. Yeah, the
Yeah.
owner loved him and kept him, you know, out of trouble, but just spoiled the genetics. Never really bred him. Never
Yeah.
paired him with the right shit. You know,
I guess
I
kind of look
shit.
at somebody's shit then, because you know, if you got to make sure they putting puppies, you know, like you said though, it was different back then. Y'all kind of, even if you didn't know that dude, you know, oh shit, every time we see him, he got good looking dogs. He doing breedings on his own, so shit, you could probably trust sticking it to him and get. But now, you know how the game go, motherfucker. Be like, oh shit, man, 6 of the puppies died. I only got 2, and then they be like, I ain't gonna be one to give up one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then you
Yeah.
done made this stick, and it's like, well, shit, I get nothing out the deal, and half the shit was mine, right? So then, you know, motherfuckers be on that bullshit. So you kind of gotta, you know, maybe see some litters on, you know, do your research. See some motherfuckers dropping some pups. They had 12 puppies because you know they're gonna post them that first day. They had 10 puppies or 8 puppies, and then by the end of it, they still got 8 puppies or, you know, 7 puppies or something. Then you could be like, all right, maybe I can stick something with you.
But shit, I ain't gonna lie. There'd be some dudes that you would think that they taking care of business when it comes to the puppy shit, losing pup after pup.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, so so, and then let's just talk about the times where it's legit, like, you know, something was wrong with the pups or something really happened, like something like uncontrollable type of shit. It happens. It happens, but when you see people losing puppies and it becomes a norm, that's where the problem comes in. That's when they got to come get this digest and get this book so
Yeah.
that they could step that game all the way up. They won't have to be asking questions and stuff, you know. They'll already know. They can go to the section that is going to help them out with whatever they're dealing with. The heat lamp situation, the temperature, the distance that you want the heat lamp to be, from the setup to everything, a checklist, clean towels, everything that you're going to be needing before that bitch drops, bro. You know, that's how you're going to save those puppies. The colostrum, everything, you know, everything. All the way to the worming stage, you know, it's getting you in there, man. It's getting you in there.
Yeah, look at
Getting
that
you in
bitch
there.
before you stick them too, because you know if that bitch barely, you know, barely looking decent, you know, once she get pregnant and puppy starts sucking her away, she gonna get even worse. You know what I'm saying? Kind of look at that bitch before you stick her. You
Yeah.
know, that bitch
Yeah,
hair
yeah.
brittle
I
and
think you
shit. She ain't looking sleek and shit. Nah,
briefly
fuck no,
touched
don't
on
do
that.
nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be he said Pup-Back deal start the bullshit. Yeah, it depends. Like I said, this social media era, I get it. If you're the social media era guy and you've never experienced genuine, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people got a level of respect for you as a person. So they're not really gonna be on that. Plus, I'm gonna be in some type of touch. You know, there was one of the ones that I told you I hooked up for my dude. And my dude ain't called dude or nothing, but I've been in contact with him.
Yeah.
You know, he got a nice little 7-pack, nice little blonde, little joints, beautiful little puppies.
Yeah.
Uh, and you know, he's doing the thing. And the thing about it is, what the fuck did I lose? You know, yeah, my dude would have been hot. Maybe if dude would have ran off or the pups would have died, or, you know, he wouldn't have been maybe acceptable to it, or maybe he would have, you know.
Yeah.
But the fact that you gave somebody a chance to prove their worth, you know, you had a gut feeling. You've been in this shit for a long time. Like I said, you've been in there 5 years. I probably wouldn't recommend it, you know.
Yeah.
But if you judge in intuition, you know, your intuition, you just feel like it's a good situation.
Yeah.
Plus, when you got good guys all around, it makes it easier because you at least got somebody within reach. Let's say it's time to get the puppies or something. You know, it's not a big problem.
Yeah.
You can easily grab yours right away, right?
Yeah.
And then if he run off or something like that, you're not giving them the papers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of like the dispensaries. It's like these dudes with the dispensaries, they just want to be the ones selling all the weed and shit. You know, like if you ain't got no dispensary, you don't even care.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You don't care. It's like, shit, I don't give a fuck who gets the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna give this dude a chance to get some of this good blood. You know,
Yeah.
there was actually 4 breedings that was done with Stanky Leg, and one of them, the guy said that the dog didn't take. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I mean, what do you do? What do you do? He sent a video. She was jumping around on the chain. Shit, do I know if that was before or after? You know, I don't know. I would trust him that the dog is what it is. He got 2. No matter of fact, he got 4 dogs, 4 damn dogs.
But shit, he
Before
must
we
be
did the
hanging papers
breeding.
then, right? He gonna have to hang some papers if not, because like you said, you ain't giving him no papers. So shit, if you did it, that'd be just be some straight hoe shit. If you lied and be like, oh, my dog didn't have puppies, and then you had puppies and put them up on somebody else. You know what I mean? That would be some hoe
Yeah.
shit. So I wouldn't assume that went down, right? Like shit, you could have got any dog to stick for that, right?
You know, it's like, damn. I don't know, man. You just gotta know. And then a lot of people, especially, let's say you in a whole nother state, and this guy want to send his whole bitch to you, right?
Yeah.
Like he already trusting you with his bitch.
Yeah.
You feel me? Most dudes that are on bullshit, they're not gonna send their bitch, bro.
Yeah.
They gotta pay shipping back and forth. That's a buffer right there.
Yeah.
Once it's time for his ass to put that motherfucker on the transporter
Yeah, that's a rack for the
and
shipping.
send that dog all the way to you, that might be $1,000
Yeah.
to do that. If you're connected, you know, some dudes, if you're really blessed, you should be
Yeah.
thankful. You know, you could probably get that for about 800 for that round trip. But
Yeah.
that's only if you've been blessed by dudes that been connected with this shit. You know, a lot of those perks, they go unnoticed.
Yeah.
But when people tend to want to fuck you out of your shit, they usually don't spend $1,000 first.
Yeah.
And they definitely probably ain't gonna buy no dogs from you either. Right. So
Yeah.
I took it for a grain of salt. You know, it's like, all right, the breeding didn't take. The other 3 breedings took, right? It wasn't no bullshit with none of the breedings. And you're not really worried about how many pups you get and whatever. You're worried about saving every puppy. How many can we make live out of this? That determines the quality of the dog man too. Yeah, some puppies, yeah, they're not gonna make it. They came out underdeveloped, whatever happened, she smashed them. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But the level of expertise that you have, that's within. You don't have to have the best bloodline to take care of all your dogs and for all your pups to live. I seen NWA. He had a show. He got a litter. You know, them pups, I bet unless they get smashed, none of them's gonna die. Perfect setup, everything clean, puppies laid out, everybody, everything was looking good. And that's what it was. Thompson in the building. What up, man? Hey, it been a roller coaster, man. I tell you, it's been a roller coaster in the community. Melee, Janae Johnson, what up? Salute, y'all. We getting it in. We getting it in one time.
Yeah. Starting off the new year. You said you sponsorships.
So I got to do 10 shows a month
Yeah.
for the sponsorship, and hopefully it goes good. And they could run it back, run that shit back. But overall, I do like the book though. I got a chance to check it out, and it's like it's too on point. It's not just a book, bro. It's like a guide.
Yeah.
It's gonna have you're not gonna need to call people so much. You're gonna just look inside that book and all those questions, everything that you got answers of, every little thing from the time that bitch get ready to drop, bruh. It's gonna walk you through it all. And if you follow that, because it's a lot of things I say all the time. That's what it hits home. You feel me? And you just won't be losing pups. And so, to some people that matters. To some people it doesn't. Some people are gonna be wanting to be so perfect with their dog and that they don't want to lose no pups because that will increase the insurance that your yard is 100% perfect for animals. The survival rate. If there was a hospital that lost kids every, at a high clip, you'd be like, damn, they losing them over there. You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't be so sure. You'd be like, wait a minute, man. I don't know if I'm gonna go there,
Yeah.
But those healthy litters, and I see dudes, man, all the time. You look at the pedigrees, and it's sometimes it ain't always the prettiest pad all the time. But the pride that they take in what they do have, imagine if they did have a Bentley.
Yeah.
Or that Maybach or something. They're not gonna have McDonald's and shit all up under the seat and shit and just,
Yeah.
they're gonna be real professional and clean with it. That's the vibe I got from this book right here. Like, damn, this shit is crazy. So now I gotta talk about it and promote it a little bit, but I do like it though. I do like it. I'm gonna be 1,000. You're $10, $8, $10. That's gonna be a good way to spend your money. On Amazon, it's free. I signed up, so shipping is free.
Yeah, you got that prime.
Let me see. What else was we talking about? The social media. Yeah, APBT Magazine, what we bring to the community. Positivity. I already went over this. I got to say it again, though. We're trying to tailor make these shows. Tailor make the shows, make them look more showy. More showy. You dig?
Yeah.
This what we're doing, man. Bringing it back to the community. where it all started. We ain't done with our live streams. Some people been asking, hey, I ain't seen you in a minute. Hey, we do gotta get bacon, but I just gotta line a few things up. And that way I'm not just going off the same template as last year. I gotta come fresh, new. It's a few things I gotta get going. And we cooking though. We cooking. Clifton behind enemy lines. What up, brother?
Yeah, last year, some big shoes to fill from last year, man. Shit.
Oh yeah. But see, the thing about it, I made the plan to crush that year last year.
Yeah.
So I made the plan, like when I was crushing it last year, I was making the plan for this year. So one thing we do not have to do is make a new plan because we already got a plan. It just has to go the right way. And if it doesn't, that's why chess is what it is. Because I can't just think about my move and then your move. I got to think about the moves after that. Because you might not make that move. I might go here and you might not go to where I thought you was going to go. So you got to have an alternative. That's what the breeding don't work. This don't work. The stud fee lining up, that pup deal, all of this, right? You might have an intention on breeding to this dog and you wake up, that dog's gone. So that's a chess move. What's next? And if you already had that chess move mapped out, then you're probably going to be good in chess. But if you didn't, then you might want to stick to checkers.
Yeah.
Because it ain't for you.
So how do you get, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you get in that mindset to be like, you know what I'm saying? What drives you on spreading from just the average Joe, like, you know what I'm saying? You out here, you got pits, breeding them, thinking in that game to, I'm finna take over the, calendars, color books, magazines. You know what I'm saying? I know it's other shit in works. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you can put out there. So what gets you into that mogul mindset and be like, I'm a commercialize this magazine brand off after the first one dropped? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be real with you, bro. When them folks took my motherfucking dogs and called me a fucking dog fighter and just pulled the Houdini on me, they was just, it was like I was at a Mardi Gras and a little Chad Johnson just came up and snatched my chain off my neck and ran. And I couldn't catch him. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt. Right?
Yeah.
So at that point, they opened my eyes up. For one, I wasn't on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
But them motherfuckers put me on YouTube, right? So really, all we do when they throw lemons, we just making lemonade, like we said.
Yeah.
Everything came from motherfuckers throwing lemons. All this shit. If nobody would have threw a lemon, there wouldn't be no APBT magazine.
Yeah.
I'm just being real. If them motherfuckers never put me on YouTube trying to destroy my fucking name, I would have never got on YouTube. Because I was like, oh, okay. You want to be on YouTube? Oh, you want me on YouTube? Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to get on YouTube then. And the community just grabbed the content. That was one of the fastest growing channels. Might be the fastest growing channel. And it got shut down after 11 months. So if you were watching Buck City and you felt like it was a lot going on right there with that Buck City shit, don't forget that that was 11 months. In the first couple months, I didn't really drop shit because I dropped like a couple videos and I forgot that I even made a YouTube channel. And I went back and saw the notifications and I saw that I had thousands of views. And so I was like, well, shit. And everybody's like, make more videos, make more, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, let me get in here. And then the hate starts, they start. And then we were just up here chopping it up one day. Maybe I could find the clip, maybe not. But I just said, see, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a magazine, right? Then it came to everybody saying, oh, you ain't going to do this, you ain't going to do that. It's a lot of doubters. It's a lot of doubters. The non-believers, they'll be the most motivation you ever have. Because it ain't up to them. They don't understand. They control their own chicken shit destiny. They don't control mine.
Yeah.
And then it's like walking like you talk it, man. If you talking about putting the shit in the positive light, then you got to do a little bit more. That's what I felt. It's like, yeah, I do a YouTube channel, whatever. Sometimes that YouTube channel get kind of crazy too. But what can I have that's actually tangible that you can have? Like if they see this magazine in your house, it'll clearly tell them that these dogs are loved by many people and they have bloodlines that are old. And you know what I'm saying? And just because you got these dogs, it doesn't mean you're a dog fighter. That's what that magazine stands for.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're going to grab the journal and it's glorifying it. Right? See, what we don't do at APBT Magazine is glorify the dog fighting. And that's where a lot of these dudes go wrong at.
Yeah.
Because they think they're telling history, but if you really hear what they're saying, they're glorifying it. That's where you go wrong. You could talk about history, right?
Yeah.
That's not a problem, So we gotta actually do good for the community, actually compete, actually support people that's putting out good shit. This is Bulldog Media. We're putting out good shit. The average Joe that never been on a platform and shit, we put him on fucking, platforms and shit, to keep doing good shit, to show people that just because you're not fighting your dog, yeah, you didn't have a dog that went 2 hours. You didn't have a dog. You didn't have that, but you still matter. Now, you don't need to be overstepping your boundaries and shit, feeling entitled.
Yeah.
Feeling that you deserve a lion's share of the puppy sales when you just got in the game and you don't really understand the bloodline yet.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't care if you came up under me or you came up under Tom Garner. The sense of entitlement shouldn't be right away because you got dudes that spent 20, 30 years and didn't sell nothing. Right. And maybe they're just now getting their shine. Maybe people are just now realizing that their dogs are something, right? They deserve some of that shine too. So there's a long waiting list. And if you don't got 10, 15 years, I wouldn't sell dogs in the APBT world. Because APBT world, unlike other dogs, the dog has to be more than just looking good in the picture.
Yeah.
Right? It got to be more than just a starved down dog that doesn't eat as much and motherfuckers thinking that he's conditioned. It's more to that.
Yeah.
It's more to it. It's more to it when you got the dry ass nose on that dog and you need to get some of this paw armor.
Yeah.
I got some fucking ointment for your dog's fucking dry ass nose. Right. Hey, man.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get it. I just saw it wasn't no problem when I was buying up shit. When I was a consumer, there was no problem, you know?
Yeah.
So we just want our brand to be APBT Magazine. That's it. We just want our brand to be that. And we're the ones that was counted out, you know?
Look,
We're
now,
the bad guys.
since you 3 magazines in and counting, you know what I'm saying? Calendars, color books, you know what I'm saying? There's other works and going on. What's the mindset going forward now?
Mindset going forward is just branching out to bigger audiences and bigger communities. You know, I'm looking for that viral moment. You know, I'm looking for people in this community that's getting a lot of traction to get behind the magazine. You know, like I'm looking for 20 channels to promote their magazine. Hey, Bugs, give me one of them commercials that, you know, make it for my channel, man. Make it dope as fuck, man. I play that shit on the end of my video. And you know what I'm saying? I'm looking for to be lifted in that way, right?
Yeah.
So we can get some of this 9 billion people that's on this earth, right? The community's bigger than just the YouTube sector. I keep saying that. But with the right promotion and the getting it out there, we can do big things, you know. And I proved it. I've took everything, whatever that comes in, I reinvested it into whatever I was doing. You know, I didn't just go out and just trick off and do all this extra crazy shit. Like I'm constantly reinvesting. So I'm curious to see just how big we can get opening it up.
Uh,
And there's good articles in there. I got one on compound interest. I probably put that on number 5. It'll be on 4 or 5. This volume 1's gonna be crazy. If you already got the volume 1, put that motherfucker up in a case because this new volume 1's coming out. It's got 40 new pages.
uh,
It's at least 60 something, 65, 68 pages.
yeah.
What's up, son?
I heard that. Volume 1. It's a brand new magazine. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Y'all gotta be in tune. When y'all get one of them magazines, look on that, inner cover or something. If you got the old volume 1, check out the pricing. Get you a slot in the magazine, tell your shit, get in on the next one. And shit only gonna get bigger and bigger. You know what I'm saying? You only got so many people. Like you said, it's bigger than this YouTube. So it's only so many people on this YouTube, but this shit gonna reach worldwide. It's huge. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, y'all get on Amazon, make y'all orders, get your calendars perfect for the man cave. You know what I'm saying? Get your coloring books, let the kids, I'm pretty sure your kids using some other shit that they coloring. Hey, have them color up some of them dogs. It's just about supporting, doing what you can. But if you can, get in on your magazines and shit. Pay the ticket. Get some worldwide exposure. It's crazy. Oh, he said he need an intro for the channel, but yeah. I gotta get some shots in, you know. You trying to make a commercial. I be getting some good video footage, but my boys, they be laying around in boxers and shit. You know, them motherfuckers got to put some clothes on, dog. Then it's scripted and it don't be looking right. What up, CMB Supreme? What a dope. Yeah, you know, we're smoking on this shit. It's been getting cold out here, man. This winter finna be some bullshit. I can feel it. It been too hot through December. Down here where I'm at in Oklahoma, it's been too hot throughout the December. Been in the 50s, 60s. Shit, Christmas was like 75. Boy, that shit dropping now. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the new winter is January, February, March. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I need that Cali weather. I just need it like 70 degrees year round. Shit. Y'all gotta holler at me in the chat, man. I ain't like big dog, man. I can't run it. Just chop it up. I get high. I get my shit go dumb.
Yeah, we back, man. We back.
Yeah.
We back, man.
Yeah, shit.
He said it's not about money, but it take good money. It take money to keep good dogs. For sure. For sure. Just, some dudes, I think they just got to understand, man. There's a pecking order in these dogs for a reason. Your average overnight success, social media success, it could happen, but it's not norm. It's not the norm. It's not the norm, man. It's probably the work put in, that, how it go. The trendy shit don't last. When you're doing all those trendy things, the trend comes in and it goes away.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, it don't take like, you can get by raising up one of these dogs on a low end. Or if you got a few of them, you know what I'm saying? You ain't always gotta go with the trendy shit and get the expensive shit and do all that extra bullshit. You know, you can get by on the bare minimum. It's just about how you do it and the love you put into it.
Yeah. Hey, get with me. What's that? Fuzzy 1995. Yeah, get with me, man. Let me send me your channel. You know, tap in with me. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
It's about tapping in and getting it done. Last year, I didn't really I did everything kind of off the muscle. I didn't really do much PR and branching out much. I just kind of stayed in my own little bubble and just, you know, whoever was fucking with me, which is good. But this year I'm you know, kind of branch out, kind of bug a couple people. I might sick somebody on some people to just to check in and see what's up. Check on those articles, see if people's done. You know, maybe if I sick somebody on like 10 people to get me an article, you know, like
yeah,
here, get on their ass and make sure they get that article. You know, help them
yeah,
if you need to. Send them, you know, ask them some good questions and, you know, just develop it, you know. That way the product will be coming in and it'll be more versatile, to be more real, you know. Um, so we're just gonna get better and better. That's the way it's gonna be.
yeah,
That's the template. The wake and bake on the what the helly over there, because I'm gonna start dropping all kind of shit over there. So if you're over there, you might want to just switch over here, man. Even if you got a membership over there, you might want to switch it over here. But I'm gonna do members only lives over there when I do them. So
yeah,
definitely it's gonna be a good thing, man. I don't know if they could give me the notifications like that, or if they still show that it's a video, but you just can't see it because it's members only. I don't know how that works. I'll figure that out. But I definitely want to do that just so I can kind of monitor just to when we're just chopping it up, like, you know, like fuck it. You know, this is real chop up right here. You know,
yeah,
not for the air. We could take a few pieces out of that and make it for the air. But when we do those, I just want those to be like it is, like even the panel action, you know, whatever. What up, Mike Dan?
What up, Mike Dan?
All the doggers in the building, man. We got a little one in, man, today. Little one in today,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, good little cook on the morning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, early, getting it in. Got to get one in for sure. Ran the commercials. Yeah, I want to do some commercials. So if you guys got channels, you guys got, you know, whatever, or if you just want to use my shit, well, yeah, I would have to. If you want one, a special tailor-made APBT magazine. If you got to be streaming though. I'm not just gonna spend my time if you ain't making no videos. Like if you trying to make a push, I don't care if you got one subscriber or whatever, but if you making videos, then I'll spend my time and get something that you could throw at the end of your shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I would have to make it unique though, which is no problem. I can make it unique just for you because I don't want you to get flagged for using mine, right? So no, that'll be dope, man. That's growth. If I could do 10 of those on some boss channels or whoever, you know, they act like they fuck with me. Um, that'll be great, man. We can really boost this thing. You know, I'll do something for that. You know, I put that shit on mine. I promote, you know, I put
yeah,
the logo at the bottom or whatever, you know, get that shit in.
hell yeah.
Hold up.
So you got a question on there, but
Let me see.
my pay grade right there, I wouldn't tell you.
He said, how would I make it accessible to use? To use flash drive.
So many times, like when you get a commercial from you.
Oh, I could probably put that on a Google. You know what? I don't know. I could probably send it straight to your phone. You know, these phones these days, man, I'm telling you. But I could send you a maybe a Google Drive or something. I know I can upload it on a Google Drive. The file probably ain't gonna be that big. A commercial's only, I think my commercial, let me see. Let me see how long my commercials are. Let me see. Okay, so one of them is 53 seconds. This one right here.
This ain't just a magazine, it's a movement. APBT Magazine is for the real bulldog community. History, bloodline.
Yeah. 53 seconds for the one and 36 seconds for the other one. So it ain't gonna be long. So those files should be able to get to you right away. Like I said, I'm gonna just do it just on the strength. You know, most people, you know, they'll charge for commercials and shit, you know what I'm saying, all that. But you know, we build this relationship. You help promote what I got going on. And who knows? You know, you might be getting a lot of things that's gonna build your brand and help out so you can be visible in this new world. A lot of people gonna get left behind,
Yeah.
you know. A lot of real doggers that, you know, I'm saying the social media guys, they're running this shit. People think they're the real dog man, you know. I mean, that the image, if they're the face of it, the real dog man is, well, I can't say real dog man. That's incriminating. Well, they'll try to incriminate that shit because they'll try to say that when you say real dog man, that means that you're referring to a certain type of dog man that does that. No, but
Yeah.
it's going to be by your blue collar, old school, traditional dog man that you see in this age. The face of this shit is clicks and views. So either you gonna play the click and view game or you gonna get left behind. There's only two options.
Yeah.
Two options, bro. You know, I'm willing to play the game. You know, like fuck it, I'll be one of the last man standing. You know, the real ones. You know, support me. You know, I'll play the game. We could play this game with them. Yeah, that part. Yep, you know how we do, man. We gonna get them channels, all that. Even if you don't even got to do pits, you could be doing something totally different, bro. You streaming, you getting some traction, you doing some shit. You could post that shit, man. Support what we got going on, and pretty soon we're just gonna be big. That's it. I don't got no other and like I said, well, like you said, you know, we on number 3 and 4 and all this shit. You know what drove the drive to is, and that's to succeed. I didn't, you know, well, the first one, I ain't gonna lie, it was more like a flex. It was more, that one was more like, you know, let me flex on them real quick, you know.
Yeah.
Then you strive for excellence, perfection. There was a lot of things in there that I was like, yeah, you know, I could have did this, I could have did that, because you're learning the parameters and shit. So then you do number 2, and you like it. You know, the balance is right. You know, you like that motherfucker. Then you see a whole nother platform where I could just do it and, you know, do it a whole nother way. So you try that. And then every time you making mistakes the whole time, you know, you making mistakes the whole time, but you're learning from them.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's like, shit, let me just, but I haven't hit the any bubble to where it's like, ooh, I'm on any level from when I first started. I don't, maybe a little recognition, the presentation. Like if I hit you up and say, hey, you know, check out my magazine, you know, if you want to get in my magazine, and they say, what magazine? I have a nice size portfolio that shows a body of work. That's all that I did in 2025. I just showed the body of work. That's why I didn't want to say when nothing was coming out. Because that first one would have been out if I wouldn't have said it was coming out at a certain date, you know. But when I said it was coming out a certain date, once you get down to a month left and 45 days left, you get to not panicking, but I don't even know if it's anxiety. People use that word. I don't know. It probably ain't anxiety, but you know, it just kind of
take the creativity out.
Yeah, it's weird. It was weird. So we just showed the body of work. Like, okay, can we drop this? Can we do this? Can we be reliable to be on a ADBA Gazette level with pages, with content? Because it was an uphill battle. Like their magazine got way more content than volume 1. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so it's an uphill battle. It's like, okay, I dropped this number 1, but can I sustain the amount of content starting from the ground up and just jumping straight out, freestyle for 1 year, and then 2026 be on schedule so that we can drop every 3 months, right?
Yeah.
And we proved that we can do that. We proved that I can drop 70, 80 pagers, right?
Yeah.
Of course, the price gonna have to be higher because it goes by the cost to print, all that, you know. It's business. That's why I say, you know, I wish it could be free, but it can't. It costs to print and all this. Shipping is going to be a slightly more, you know, if we just go 80 pages on them, right?
Yeah.
Because right now, I think we're at the capacity. I could probably do 100 fucking page mags, 4 of them a year, 100 page. You know, if I could get the ads, though, it has to have ads, you know. And I ain't gonna say 100 pages. I could, but that's stretching it. You know, that's a fat ass magazine, you know.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna keep it going. And of course you hear me, I'm kind of the face of it and you know everything, but there's a lot of other people that's involved with this, writers, different people. We got sponsor now, official sponsor now, you know. There's a page in there. That page is inside of there. It's more than just me, and you'll start seeing I'll start to phase toward the back. But that's where I prefer to be, just kind of in the back, executing and just pushing the shit. And I'll do better at that if I could have that, you know, do more of that, and have more people step forward and do shows, APBT Magazine shows without me. I'm not even on there at all.
Yeah.
So that's what we doing, man. We just gonna build. I see the vision. It's clear. It's not like it's blurry and shit, like something way in the blur. Nah, this vision is clear. I could smell it. I could taste it. And with the tools that we have today and the viral moments that we have, we could get in the right hands and do some big numbers. That's what it takes. Everything significant takes numbers, you know. If you're the best, they won't believe that you made the less.
Yeah.
And if you're the worst, they won't believe that you made the most. Cracking is cracking. Cracking is cracking. Hey, that macho skull land. Woo. Macho skull land is looking like Hell's Kitchen. Those dogs are the most just wow.
Yeah.
If you knew, you knew. If you know, you know. If you knew better, you do better. Let me see.
Oh.
Hold up. Yeah. Bitcoin up 1.39 today. Let's see.
Yeah, I need to get in one of them stocks that's finna get ready to blow up, and I get a lot of that shit in there.
Yeah, I've been hearing about them. That's why you got to have that bread coming in. When that bread's coming in, it's easy to just take a little bit off of all the bread, you know.
Yeah.
Just take a little bit. If it keep coming in, let's say it's coming in every week, fat chunk, you know, you could just take a little bit and just place your chips.
I mean, we should do that, bro. You know, like how some people be having like them things where they be going in, they be doing like they get like 10 people or something, and they be doing like them little betting shits. We should get a couple people, throw in some dough and start getting us some little stocks and shit, and try to catch one of these ones that's finna blow.
Yeah, and I think a lot of them is shit. Long term, there's a lot of good ones, but I ain't no expert, man. Let me
Me
shut
neither.
up, man.
I don't
They
know
be like,
shit
oh,
about.
he gave me some expert advice. Like, nah, I ain't no expert, man. But I think long term, there's a lot of good opportunities, I will say. But if you're on the short term tip, I don't really know. I don't really know too much
They do
about that.
that day trade, where they flip and making 3-4 racks a day. Shit.
Yeah, see, I done seen them lose that too, though. You know, for
Don't
every
nobody like to
story
talk
that
about
the
that.
motherfucker got that, there's somebody that lost triple that, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm trying
so,
not to lose within the first 5. If you hit within the first 5 days, you smack up a couple, a loss ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Figure it out, regroup.
but
But
what
if
if
you
you gotta
lose,
take the hit 3-4 times before you hit though?
that's when it start to get ugly. You know what I'm saying? That's when
You know,
you like, ooh, wait.
like you might take 15 hits before you hit twice and shit. Like, what's up
Yeah.
with that? What are we gonna do there?
That's when you got to do that research. Try to avoid as best as you can on taking a hit and hit a surefire win. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's crazy. That is crazy, man. Hey, this year, man, different year, same ish. You know what
Yeah.
it is, man. It's the same old clowns in the industry. I think I dropped a little 5-minute joint on this. You know, that's gonna be my new little style. I'm gonna just kind of pop in and just say my little 2 cents and get up out the way. You know, I ain't gonna spend no hours beating a dead horse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nah, I think that's gonna be my thing this year. You know, I'm gonna just come in with my little 2 cents about everything, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, man. Man, I seen and dudes be trying to get me to get on this. It's one of my guys, he been sending me this every time. But even with the social media and like the bully world taught me how to take your picture of your dog to hide his flaws. you know.
Yeah.
And dudes are doing a damn good job, bro. Like they're able to shoot the videos and shit to where they're making sure they hiding the flaws of this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, you just can't admit that this dog is just a piece of shit, and
Yeah.
probably won't be able to be a great dog ever, but the griftomania, the griftomania of it is just gonna, bro. I say this in one of my videos. And this is for you 5 dog guys. That you started your yard, you got 5 dogs. You got 3 grown dogs and 2 puppies. Sorry to bust your bubble. Those 5 dogs are probably not gonna be the dogs that you end up with in 10 years, even 5 years. They're not. It's gonna the yard that went through the most diversity, change, I believe he got the better chance of having good dogs. But the dude that just kept those same 5 dogs, and it's 5 years down the road, and it ain't been no culling or nothing. I'm not saying it can't happen. It's just looking kind of suspect. That's all I'm saying. And you don't have to get on social media and you don't have to. None of that matters. None of that matters, man. But if I'm watching you from afar and I'm just like, okay, okay, he got that one right there. He got those 2, you know what I'm saying? And then he start to bust out a bunch of pups. Like, okay, I see what's up. I see what's up with that. Just, and a real one that pays attention, he just not gonna go fuck with that. He ain't gonna make no big deal over it. He just gonna pay attention to it. Like, oh, okay, he just got that motherfucker barely over a year old. Oh shit, he bred him, 3 times before he was 2. That's a tell sign right there that you're trying to swindle. Dog ain't even 2 years old. You breed him 5 times. What is that? What does that mean? How can we trust your judgment when it comes to creating anything? Have you seen any of these dogs? You seen the parents of these dogs? You know anything about the history of these dogs? Nope. But if you sat on that shit, stayed in your own bubble, So you found out them dogs were good. Tap in.